Players on the bubble. We've seen OTAs, minicamp. We've seen the reports. Who stocks up? Who stocks down? What do you think? Players in the bubble.
Elijah Mitchell.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Got hurt immediately.
That's my guy, too.
He's so good.
Yeah. I love his play style. We all know what he brings to the team, but Elijah, he can't stay healthy. And wait a minute. Let me check myself. We don't know what's going on with him injury-wise.
True.
So I don't want to say can't stay
But
healthy.
it is an injury. I asked. Yeah. It is an injury, but we don't know what it is. Yeah.
All right. So what it is, what I will talk about is the competition at hand. Jordan Mason looks better than ever by all reports.
He looks slimmer, trimmer.
Yeah.
More explosive.
One of the things that I've been hearing about is that he's been catching the ball quite well out of the backfield. And,
yes, he has. Which isn't something that Mitchell does that great, if we're being honest.
Right. And
he really doesn't.
Also, one of the things with Jordan Mason that I know will really kind of just make him a no-brainer is that if he just gets better at pass protection. If he can block and is not
he's got the body for it. He's got the body for it. He just needs to learn it.
It's going to be rough for Elijah to reverse this camp.
He should be a much better blocker than McCaffrey. I mean, he's way better. McCaffrey never blocks, though. McCaffrey's running routes. So, it's either when you have it's usually a Kittle or use check as like the police protector when they do that. Not excuse me, the pocket protector.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I just and then also running back is one of those gotta have it positions for us. It's not like we can have roster spots with guys just kind of sitting back. We will need guys to run hard for us early in the season for us to catch our footing because of our quarterback situation. Our run game is going to have to be humming off the break. And because of that, we're not going to be, I feel like it's a numbers game, and we're not going to have the numbers to ingest any injuries or hiccups along camp with Elijah. So I feel like Elijah's, go ahead.
One. Okay, I'll go. I got one. I'll go.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on.
Sneeze. Do it.
No, I'm good. All right. Okay. Danny Gray. Danny Gray's on the bubble. I thought it was going to be Ty Davis Price, one of those two. But Ty Davis Price looks, I mean, he's healthy. Like, Mitchell is the guy right now. Mitchell needs to come back because Ty Davis Price is looking healthy and confident. Danny Gray had a good day, one of minicamp. But every other day I've seen it.
Why?
I mean, yesterday he dropped another one off, let it bounce off his chest. Like, his best play at minicamp was smoking Diamador Lador off the line at the 3-yard line with a slant and dropping the ball. Like, he catches it with his chest every time. And so you really can't trust him. Like, he'll make a good play, but if he does that stuff in games and clanks a couple balls, you're never going back to him, ever.
Well, I will say this. What I do know is that sometimes receivers who are body catchers are mostly smaller receivers, right?
True.
And because they're body catchers is because they want to make sure that they secure that ball, and they really don't trust going out there with their arms to go get the ball.
Yeah,
I feel like that's something.
Danny's not small. He's not small.
Much bigger.
Yeah.
He's actually gotten a lot. He's gotten a lot more pronounced into his pro body. I think that that's something that can be a problem for him, but it's not something that he can't work out. I feel like just working on jugs, being able to rep those things out, and a lot of that stuff is that he's so goddamn physically talented that sometimes he's leaving before he even gets the ball. He's already thinking about getting up damn field before the ball is already there. So I wouldn't.
But the problem for him though is that there are other wide receivers that are young who are pushing him. Like Ronnie Bell had some good practices. Tay Martin looks good. Like Tay Martin made a diving 15-yard catch yesterday. Like, Sam Darnold rolled right and he extended the play and put it. It was an okay throw, and Tay Martin just fully extended. It was like, wow. And I'm sure he runs like a 4.5 or 4.6 or whatever. He's a different skill set, but
Tay Martin has worked on his body too.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm not saying Danny Gray's going to get cut, but he's for sure on the bubble, and what he does in these practices matters.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. Yeah. So, I feel like Ambry may be on the bubble this year.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I feel like this may be the time that he may go. Not only with, all right, so we could talk about it in twofold, and this is why I really feel like Ambry may be in trouble, is because, one, we could talk about what they just brought in. So Samuel Womack is on his second year, and I'm hearing that he's looking better. He looks a lot more in shape.
He's looking really good.
Looking really good.
He's looking
and then
really
also we've got Darrell Luter Jr., who we just brought in. We got the UDFA.
Missed all of mini camp, and they didn't say why. I don't know what's going on there. So that gives Embry a chance. But
yeah,
I mean, if Luter's back,
back
in training camp, right?
They're invested.
Yep.
This is a kid.
Yeah,
This isn't a coaching staff that goes off guys. They don't like to be wrong.
Yeah, they're not going to cut Luter Jr. at all. He's on the team. He's making the team.
No,
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
you're right.
And on top of it, we don't even know how Embry's going to ingratiate himself with Coach Wilkes. So
correct.
We do know that Coach Wilkes is here as a defensive coordinator, but let's be honest, he's also here as almost kind of like our subject matter expert to get our secondary together. I feel like we had D'Amico and we had Coach Sala, and they were very strong in pushing forth the edict of the defense. And then we always have Coach Kasarik to work on the D line. So our linebackers, I feel like in some ways, our linebacking core has gone as far as they can go as far as developmental from the ground up. We almost have the blueprint there. Where we lack productivity and development is in the secondary.
Right.
That's where we have issues.
Yeah.
And I feel like,
and this guy was always a project. I mean, he was like Trey. He didn't play the COVID year.
Exactly. And I feel like with Coach Wilkes, we already saw the types of players that he was bringing in, bigger DBs, more physical DBs, and also we'll start to see how heads will roll, how he's just going to start weaning out what he doesn't want in the building. So Embry may be a part of that first evolution.
Well, so far so good for Embry, though. It seems like Steve Wilkes is trying to embrace him with positivity. Like Travarius Ward was one of the veterans who didn't participate in 7-on-7 and 11-on-11s. And I don't think he's injured, but he just didn't participate. So the starting left corner was Embry. All of OTAs and training camp. Mini camp. I'm not saying he played well. Like that. I mean, it's a vote of confidence, but then he still does the same thing, which the last 2 years, it's not just that he's getting beat. It's that when he gets beat, he's like 5, 6, 7 yards away. When I asked Corey Unlin last year in training camp, when they did that, those little informal interviews, Corey Unlin was the DB coach. I said, so how's Embry Thomas doing? You ask about all the players. He's like, he took a second. He was like, well, he's been doing better. He's been getting a little bit closer. It's like, yeah, that's the issue with Embry. Like, he's so far away. Yeah. I don't understand what's going on. So he's got a chance, but you contrast him to Samuel Womack, who's been the second team right corner behind Lenore. It's like he's always like this close to the guy, It's almost like, oh, are they gonna call a flag? Yeah.
And then let's put some love on him. Embry did miss an entire year of ball before he came in with the COVID year. So he essentially came in behind the 8 ball. And maybe and this is us talking now, before the 40 days, before these guys have kind of got around their peers and kind of see, all right, this is where I stand with the improvement that I've done thus far over the offseason. Now I know where I need to go with these next 40 days in order to really be geared up to go during camp. And, who knows? Embry may shock us. These 40 days, guys can come in much better or much worse than where they came in for OTA. So, I feel like Embry is a guy that I singled out based on Coach Wilkes being here, the new personnel that we've gotten, but he's by no way, shape, or form out of it.
That's fair. Agree. Okay, I got another one for you.
Okay.
Kinlaw. Kinlaw. And here's the thing, like, if he's healthy, he'll make the team. But he wasn't there at the last day of minicamp, and his issue has been, whatever is going on with his knee, it can't stay healthy it hasn't stayed healthy for extended periods of time. So if he goes through training camp and that's the case again, and he's in and out, and they don't really know what they're going to get in terms of, durability, well, they have a lot of other guys who are good and dependable and durable. I mean, beyond Hargrave and Armstead, they got Givens, McGill, Kalia Davis, and this undrafted rookie free agent, Spencer Wagee, who's really... Yeah, I mean, so they have a bunch of guys who don't necessarily have that durability question, and they don't need to sort of jeopardize a roster spot in a guy who may be not active. So him.
Yeah.
And it's all about his availability.
Yeah, and then really that's purely what it's about for Javon.
That's
his
his
availability. We want him to make it. It's just
they want him to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just that for what we're trying to do offensively. And then this is the thing about Javon is that he not only needs to fill a pertinent position on our defense, but he's replacing a spot that was more than adequately filled with Buck. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's so not only are we expecting him to produce, but we know the level of production that comes out of that position as well. So it's not he's not available, and this is just one of those things where this is just a business, and I wish him the best, but you can't really critique a knee. Like, if it's not getting better, it's just not getting better.
And you got to give him credit. Like, they've been extremely patient with him.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't trade him. I mean,
you're gutted over it because I feel like both sides have done their very level best.
That's
right?
True. That is true.
Right. So
that is true.
That's what sucks about this, is that it's not like, oh, well, I caught him. We see him on IG doing backflips and jumping in pools and living his life. And then all of a sudden we can't. No, Javon is constantly in the building. Yeah. He is always working. Right.
That's true.
That's got to be relentlessly hard for him mentally to be looking at something that he wants so bad and he's actually putting in the work. And then an organization like the 49ers, where, what do we say here? We don't hold on to nobody here, right? Either you're producing right away, you're getting shelved, or you're getting shipped, right? And for us to hold on to him, the Niners see the potential. It's just that
they also know they have a bad track record of rehabbing players from knee injuries, like Jerick McKinnon. They could never get him right, and then he went to Kansas City and was just fine. So
that's true.
I wonder what's going to happen with Javon if he leaves the Niners. He might just find an organization that can
he
get
might,
him right.
Yeah, might find a different scenery.
I got one more. Tight end Charlie Warner, because to me, I mean, both tight ends are on the.
I was about to say
both of them. Both of them are, but let's start with Warner, and then we'll go to Ross.
For your boy.
No, Ross is in trouble too, but Warner I think is in big trouble. I think Warner might be like screwed because I think he is competing with Latu. I think those two, yes, I think that's like the number 2 blocking specialist tight end, and Dwelly is like that number 3 flex H-back fullback kind of receiving specialist guy with Willis. Okay. That's the way I see it in terms of roles. So if I'm right. Then Werner is now competing with a guy in Latu who caught a 60-yard touchdown pass yesterday. And I've never, ever seen Charlie Warner do anything ever.
I told you that Cam got ball skills, bro. Don't be fooled by that 4.7, bro. I told you, man.
He produced in college, and Charlie Warner never did.
Yeah. And they both played one played at Georgia, one played at Alabama, same level of competition.
Right. Like, let me just point out what Charlie Warner did in college. 34 catches, 1 touchdown in 4 years. Like, Cameron Latu had 15? Cam Latu had 12 touchdown catches in 2 years. Yup. So Charlie Warner's in trouble. Yeah. I think he's in big trouble. Super trouble.
Okay, well.
So let's talk about Dwelly then. So
Ross is in trouble.
Dwelly he is, but instead of competing with a 3rd-round pick who's definitely going to make the team, he's competing with a late 7th-round pick.
So you think
he has a chance. He has a chance. Braden or Ross. Yes, because Ross has played some fullback. Braden could play some fullback. I saw Braden in the run game yesterday. He's getting pushed off the ball by backups. He's not an inline tight end. He's not an inline tight end. Latu is. That. But he's, and that's Dwelly too. Like Dwelly, you can't, if you put him at Y, he's getting pushed off the ball for sure. You can't run his direction, but you can put him on the backside of the play. So to me, there's similar skill sets, and Willis is a better athlete than Dwelly for sure. Remember, Dwelly might run a 5.1. He might run a 5.2.
Okay, so I see your Braden Willis comp for Ross, but I think Juice is in trouble with Braden. Oh. I think that Juice may be on the bubble because of Braden. Because I think that although Braden is more athletic than Ross and he does play fullback, I think that Braden is definitely more athletic than Juice as well. I think that Braden, I don't think that Braden is nearly the blocker that Juice is, but blocking from space and coming from the backfield is more about angles and how you get there necessarily than it is about physical prowess. I mean, we love Juice, but Juice doesn't actually really move the needle in the looks department. It's not like he's actually like dominating people, right?
Yeah.
He's
not Mike Allstott.
Yeah,
leading up through the hole and just Or
and
Lorenzo Neal. Remember
accuracy.
Lorenzo Neal, what he would do to people when he would like lead through the hole? Lorenzo Neal would destroy you. That's not use check.
No. So really, I think that Braden would push Juice. I think that Cameron is going to push Ross. And I think that and also look out for Jack Coletto. Look out for Jack Coletto.
Because who picked Jack Coletto? I mean, he's a running back, right?
Bobby
plays some running back, right? So Bobby.
Yeah.
And who coached Mike Allstott in college?
Bobby.
Now, I'm not saying this guy's Mike Allstott. I'm not saying that at all. But Jack Coletto, if he got the Bobby Turner seal of approval, I'm interested.
If anybody, you know what? We just got to put this online. Find out if Jack Coletto has any relation to the head coach of the University of Purdue from 91 to 94, Coach Coletto. Can somebody find out if they're related?
Because head coach, Bobby Turner was on that staff. He was the run game coordinator, the offensive coordinator. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Bobby Turner was on that staff from 91 to 94 in Purdue, and the head coach was Coletto. Find out if the head coach of Purdue has any relation to Jake Coletto, who we just drafted this year.
Yeah.
Jack Coletto. Yeah. We just want to know if there's a relation.
You know who's not on the roster bubble?
Who?
Jake Moody.
Yeah.
Zane Gonzalez is up. It was so funny. So Moody totally shanks a 38-yarder on day one of minicamp, and it's like, ugh. And then he hits like a line drive 43-yarder that was good, but it also looked even worse. And everyone's like, okay, So the next day, to prove a point to everyone, they have him kick. They go 33, 43, 53, 63. Like, boom, 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 boom. Like, okay, that was fun to watch. And then Zane Gonzalez kicked. They were like, okay, you could do 35, 40, 45. Okay, that's enough. Like you didn't even get to try 50, dude. You don't even have it in your bag. It was hilarious. You're good. 45. Okay, that's good. Thanks, Zane. Yeah, get the hell out of here. See you, Zane.
Also, you know who else may possibly be on the bubble? Gip. I think that Gip may be on the bubble as well. I feel like Jair, if he's flashing really early from what I'm hearing. And I feel like if Jair is flashing as much as he is, there's going to be a juxtaposition of trying to get him on the field as much as possible. And I don't think that Gip, you don't need to keep Gip in a package role. The only way that you would keep Gip is if you start him. And if Jair pushes Gip, you don't really need him for the money that you're paying him. So
true, and it's like it would be unfair to Gip at 33 years old. Like, hey man, go find a role somewhere else, like you did here. Yeah,
they would have to make that decision sooner rather than later, just to do him a solid to see if he would want to go somewhere else.
Because he's a career journeyman. He's good at it. He'll find a spot. He'll get his 4 picks.
This isn't new to him. Yeah,
nah, yeah, he's not. He's a mercenary. He's not emotional about this or tied to the 49ers. Think about Jair Brown. I want to say what I noticed with him. He hasn't got any first string reps yet, but it's coming. He is he's a really good athlete. I mean, you can see it right now. Like he's explosive, springy. And so I watched him on one play. They motioned Charlie Warner across to the slot. So in this, Jair Brown comes down and has him man-to-man. And it looked to me like Warner was the first progression in the pattern. Okay. Darnold has the ball, looks right at Warner, who like runs and does like a 6-yard stick route. And like you could just see Brown like trying to play extra off. Like dude, throw it. And Darnold, to his credit, didn't throw it and like looked to it to somewhere else. But like I haven't seen anyone actually throw it Jair
as a rookie
yet. And what they said was when the media wasn't there, he's had like 3 or 4 picks. So I think when the media is there, these quarterbacks know like
I'm not throwing it that motherfucker.
So I think he hasn't made the plays in front of us yet, but I think there's a reason he hasn't made the plays in front of us. I think the quarterbacks aren't dumb.
Yeah. I mean, he's a ball player, man. I mean, Anthony Poindexter is DB's coach. It's somebody who is ingratiated with my family. He recruited my little brother to go to UVA. And Dex loves him. Thinks the world of him. So
I love him.
Yeah.
Not that I'm an expert, but I'm in.